Hi everybody. So it's me, Rachel. I am checking in to let you know some pretty big news. For those of you who have not been on Facebook, on my Facebook, I've announced it, but I bought a house. Yeah, me, little old me. So like on my birthday, the second week in September, I was online and I found this house for $49,500. And for this area, that's a really good price. And I was like, whoa, what's wrong with it? What in the world? We're getting some gusts of wind. But, what was I saying? So, it was a foreclosure, and I looked into it and found out that it was, it had been abandoned basically from between September 2014 to March of 2015. It had not been winterized. And so, since it wasn't winterized, they, throughout the process, they pretty much flat out refused to turn on the water, which I ended up getting them to reduce it by $1,000 for. But I also ended up, before I say that, I paid more than the listing price because I was working on talking them down, and I'll kick myself for that for a while probably. And when I got them talked down a little bit, then somebody else came in and made an offer on the house. And when somebody else makes an offer on the house, I had one chance to make one final offer, and whoever offered the most got it. Well, needless to say, I made the highest offer. It took, like, I was praying and praying about it over the weekend because I didn't want to lose the house. I didn't really want to pay more than the asking price. I didn't even want to pay the asking price because it was more fun to see how good of a deal I could get, right? And for me to buy this, by the way, I got interest-free loans from people I know, and that right there is a miracle. It's big praise to God for it to all work out like that. But anywho, I lose my train of thought so often right now. I have like a billion things on my mind. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is what it took for me to finally come to a price was two dreams. The morning of my last day to make a decision on what to offer, I woke up and I had finally had a dream. I've been asking, I wanted a dream or some clarity of some type for weeks. But for this particular part of the stage, it was really only a couple, like, I want to say 4 days, 4 days. And I woke up and I had this dream where my boss told me, it's kind of funny, my boss told me to make a, it was like a $2,500 difference in price offer to the asking price. So I thought, well, maybe that means $47,000 should be my final offer. And because I didn't want to think the contrary, where it's higher than the asking price. So Madeline wakes up and she comes and it says, so Mom, are you going to make an offer on that house today? And I said, well, maybe. And I said, why? Did you have a dream? And she said, yeah, I had a dream that you didn't offer enough and you didn't get the house and somebody else got it. Dad got it. And I was like, oh man. She's like, yeah, so Dad was going to live in the house and you didn't get the house. And I was like, well, that's a bummer. I said, how much did I offer? She said, 47. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So that's exactly what I had been thinking. And so going up, it was more like 52,000. I called my realtor. Oh, and the third thing that happened was Jacob texted and said that if need be, he thought he was finally going to give me some advice. He hadn't given me advice in a long time. And he said if need be that he would loan me an extra couple of $1,000s, but that he thought I should offer about $51,500. And well, heck, that was really close to $52,000. So I called up my realtor and I said, this is what I'm at peace with. I want all the costs included though, because they have to do closing costs because it's all I've got. And he's like, well, that's not really the way this works. It would look better to them if you included the closing costs, and so maybe you should just offer 51,000. And I was like, I kind of hemmed and hawed, and then I went along with him. And then I got off the phone, and I didn't feel at peace about it. And he was going to be out of the office, so I called his office and kind of changed it around and talked to him. And then I hemmed and hawed again because he made me feel like I didn't make any sense a little bit. And I knew this is his job all the time, so So I started to go, well, maybe you're right. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I feel at peace with this number. And he's like, no, no, no. We're going to go with it because I am not going to get in the way of the Lord. And I was like, okay. So he made the offer, and I thought I was going to hear it that day, but I didn't hear for another 24 hours, which felt like forever. In fact, it might have been 2 days. No, I think it was only 24 hours. It just felt like forever. So my realtor calls finally, and I was starting to really wonder. I was like, do I need to send my kids over and have them do the math for these people? Like, how hard is it to do more than and less than, you know? Like, which offer was more? And finally, he calls me and says, I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? And I'm like, thinking to myself, how can there be both, right? And I said, I have no idea. You pick. He says, well, normally I do the bad news first. And so he said, the bad news, well, he didn't say the bad news. He just said, I normally do the bad news first. And then he says, so the closing date won't be until November 5th. And he's like going on and on with details of that. And it's like, I was sitting there going, no, is he talking about the closing date for other people? Is this the good news or is this the bad news? I said, so wait. Is this the bad news? Is the good news that I got the house? And he said, yes, congratulations. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I was so happy. He said, but the funny thing is, they want you to go down $1,000 and include the closing costs. So it kind of worked out his way. But hey, I went with what I was at peace with. And it all worked out really well. And the numbers got played with a little bit more because then they decided they wanted me to pay the taxes for this year, even though that was their responsibility. So then that was taken off. But long story short, I got a house for around $51,000. And it's a total fixer-upper, but it's such a huge blessing to me. I'm so excited to have my own home. I've been wanting one for a long time. My cost will be less. Once I get it fixed up, my cost will be less than renting. Except for through hard times, is what I wanted to say. I've had some leeway here, some huge blessings. Jacob's taking good care of us sometimes. So anywho, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. It's not considered that. It's considered a 2-bedroom, I think 1 or 2 bathroom. I can't remember because of the lack of proper windows downstairs, which I will fix. And make it a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. And then there's like a nice big pantry. I will totally give you the tour. I'm going to give you the outside tour in just a moment. Actually, I filmed the outside tour previous to this intro because I made another intro and I didn't like it. So this is the new one. My thoughts were all scrambled and I kept getting interrupted by kids and stuff. So I didn't like that one. Oh, and then there's an apartment too that's not exactly attached, but it's really close. It's like in the backyard. And a shop and everything. So I will show you everything a little bit by little bit. And I'm saying too much. I also plan on just having a lot of footage of me fixing it up and doing it within a budget. So yeah, that's about it. It's already been exciting. It's November something today. It's like the November 16th today, I think. November 16th-ish. And so I've owned the home for less than a month. Got my first electric bill today, but it was only for the first 10 days. It was $36. I sent it in. I already paid the taxes on it for the past next 6 months. It's paid up until May of this coming year. So I've got some months between the second portion and now. Yeah, I painted the exterior. And you'll see the before, and at some point I will show you, I'll probably just show you a picture of the after because I haven't taken a video of that yet. I will do an outside tour again next time I'm up, or I shouldn't say next time I'm up there, but soon I will do another outside tour. Just the other day I painted the base a white color, and I haven't even taken pictures since then. I've also been painting the pantry shelves white that were downstairs because it's going to brighten up that little storage area a lot to have it all white instead of kind of like a dungy bare wood look. It wasn't even bare wood, it was like bare particle board look. So yeah, that's it. I'm a homeowner now and I'm super excited. It'll take me some years to pay it off. I want to say probably 3 to 5 years, but compared to 30, that's incredible. And that's only assuming that my finances are stable and stay where they're at. I do plan on fixing up the apartment and renting it out. And hopefully all that goes really well. So that's it. I think I will now show you the tour of the outside. And thanks for watching. Okay, so this is the before. I'm going to show you before and after. Thanks for watching. Bye.